stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Happy Friday. We out here. We did it. We got a fun one today. We're going to talk. Actually, you know what? We're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to talk a little foosball. We're going to talk a little football here at the top. We had the draft last night. We got a couple of guests we're going to bring on. We're going to give away some shit. We swore in the first 5 minutes, which means it's going to be tough to monetize this one, according to the algo gods. Who do we have here this morning? Federico in the house. We got Jump Shoot here. Cameron Quinlan's here. Jay Bus, how early we're drafting. Bijan, there we go. Borland's here. We got Orion. We got Stubbs, good morning. The Common Man's here. We got Brand Elias. We the people. Oh, hit a little cash. Hit a little cash last night in that Celtics game. For those ready to talk Celtics Hawks, we'll do that the second half of the show. We also have like a little partnership that we're going to announce too towards the end. That's exciting as well. The Common Man's here. We got Matic Auto. Joel's here. Stone Cold's in the house. Andor homies. Yeah, Tatum Bald. Who else we got? JJL, we love to see it. Ricardo's here. F1 and Team Hold in the morning. Love to see it. Red Dad, what's up? Did Red Dad get lost? Red Dad's here this morning. Good to see you, sir. Tom's here. Did someone say football? Who else? Garen's here. Everybody's here. All right, let me, as advertised, as they say, we are going to give away an all-day pack here. So what we're going to do is like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag all night into the chat, because our friends from All Day, All Night are going to be joining us here in a second. So go ahead, do that. We'll give that away towards the end of their stay here today. Couple of things, stay tuned for all. Yeah, just make sure you're engaging with the short form content. If you see it, Veronica put together an incredible fire edit yesterday of the Miami Heat comeback. We did a little historical review of 8 seeds taking down 1 seeds. And the turnaround time was awesome. It was good vid. Good vid. We put it all over the socials. So go check that out. I think this is the only show today. It's the only stream today, right? So, enjoy it. Drink it in. We've got 2 game 6s tonight. We got Grizz and Lakers. We also have, oh my God, what's the other one? We have Grizz and Lakers, and then we have Kangs and Warriors, like the beam, all that fun stuff. So stay tuned. Well, I might get a surprise stream this weekend too, depending on how spicy the games are tonight, or who knows, maybe we do a live after the game's over. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. But one more reminder, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag all night, all that fun stuff. Let's bring on our guests. I'm excited. We have Mr. X NFT and 90s fan, both from All Day, All Night, joining the show. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. That's what we're looking for. How are we doing, fellas?
What's up, Mike? How are you?
Good, man. Good. Now, we've got some all-night merch on here. We are boots on the ground at the draft, right?
Yeah. I flew in yesterday, dropped my stuff at the hotel, went straight over to the draft. A lot of drinking, a lot of standing, a lot of partying. I lost my voice, but it's all good.
That's great. And that's all. Are you there for all of the days?
Yeah, well, I'm here till Sunday morning. So I'm going today. I'm not sure what I'm doing Sunday. I'm going to go to Arrowhead on Sunday. The last day of the draft is it is what it is. So we'll see. But
so before we get into the draft itself, because there was some like the fun stuff that went down last night. So like Houston sniffed a little cocaine before they started drafting, and they were wilding out. But before we get into that, I wanted Mr. X and 90s kind of give us a little intro. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat know who you guys are and are familiar with your all day content. But I don't know, give us a little taste. What are you guys cooking up?
Good. X.
Yeah, man. So basically, we run spaces every Tuesday, and we're just kind of 4 friends who started off with Top Shot and definitely watching your stream. But we just started shooting the shit when the all day product came out, and we're definitely true collectors, definitely passionate about the product. But we, I think what makes us special is just kind of all of our kind of legitimacy behind it. I think when you get some friends together and just coming together organically, it's a different experience. So we're trying to have fun. We try to keep things entertaining. We try to keep guys like 90s on the ground to keep that content coming. Yeah, it's been a good experience, man.
That's awesome. Now, 90s, are you out there for some all night content, or were you just a big draft fanatic? Like, what's the deal with getting out to Kansas City?
Well, the draft was in New York for many, many years. And of course, I've never went before. So I felt like this time it would be kind of fun just to go. One of my friends was going to go. The all night crew was possibly going to meet up. We were looking forward to possibly doing something there too, but we didn't. And I really wanted to see what all day was going to be doing down here. Haven't seen too much of that stuff going on, but was excited just to come down, meet some people, meet some other collectors. I met Garland. Garland's a great guy, big guy in the community. Biggest fan ever of NFL All Day. The guy talked about it all night. Any opportunity he had, he talked about it. If All Day had 20 Garland, this product would be $1 billion company right now.
That's great. We'll talk a little bit more all day too, towards the end of our conversation, but let's I don't know. Were you in I know you said you flew in yesterday. Were you at the event? Were you at the draft last night or
Yeah.
So
I was at the draft.
What was it like inside the room as those picks started coming in?
I mean, there was a lot of people. They capped it at 60,000. They said it was really kind of hard to tell how many they had, but it was like a huge lawn where everybody was in one whole section. Then there was another section where they had fan experiences. You could kick a football between the goalposts. You could do some vertical jumps, all different activities that you can do, which was a complete other section, which they had to start kind of having people watch TV screens from there to see the draft because they couldn't get onto the actual lawn. But the building was exciting. I mean, everyone had jerseys on. It was a sea of red. The Chiefs fans definitely showed up. Every pick, people were cheering, high-fiving. Didn't matter who your team was. I was representing the Giants. There was 3 Giants fans by me. So every time something happened with the Giants, they would look at me, and that was it. But it was a cool vibe, good experience. Definitely going back today.
Yeah, that's incredible. Mr. X, while you were taking in the draft, was there any sort of moment or pick or time that stood out that I don't know, gave you a little stun, were there any shockers for you last night?
Man, I live on the outskirts of Atlanta, so I'm pretty happy with the Falcons picking up Bijan Robinson. It's rare for a running back to go in the top 10, but I'm glad they did it. We needed a solid running back, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the team. The team that they're playing is very old school, and it's a pickup that needed to happen.
Yeah, you know what's so funny? I was surprised by that only because, and this is my best ball bag speaking from last year. Tyler Algier seemed to come on super strong. So I between Algier and Cordell Patterson, who's turned into one of the best running backs of all time. I was surprised that they grabbed another one, just because I don't know. It feels like they've got 47 skill guys, and without a quarterback yet. Although I don't know. How are you feeling about? Is it Ritter? Is it Kyle Ritter? Is that who you guys have right now?
Yeah, so I think the tricky part is the good quarterbacks are always going to go in the top 3. Once you saw Stroud end up going, you kind of knew that there wasn't much left. You could have picked up Levi's from Kentucky, but I think he's having reports of medical problems right now. So it's one of those tricky things. You could probably trade Robinson for a quarterback at any point if you bundle it up. So that might be their long-term play. But in any event, anytime they pick up a good player, a good rookie, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me kind of like Saquon going to New York when New York sucked, and it was just kind of well, at least we got this guy. This guy's at least fun. He'll give us 2 runs a game where we're oh hell yeah, this is fun. It's just keeps vibes high.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. You think running backs aren't going to be the most essential position unless you get elite running backs where you have guys like Taylor and Saquon just absolutely killing the fantasy lineup. So hopefully Bijan lives up to the hype, man.
That would be great. 90s, was there any moment, just especially because you were there, was there any moment where people lost their shit? Did any booing happen for any picks, or or the vibes mostly positive because they took it out of New York?
Yeah, no, vibes are mostly positive. Anytime Roger Goodell got on stage, of course, we all booed. That's my wife's favorite part of the actual show. But other than that, I mean, one thing that was confusing is when there were trades happening, we didn't know what happened. So they would say when Houston jumped back up to not only pick second, but then third, we didn't know what was that. What did they give up? What was included? So you had a lot of confusion. And then people are going to their phones, but a lot of people didn't have service. So you didn't really know what was going on other than, okay, this team made this trade. We don't know what we gave up. We don't know what we're getting, but we're picking next. Let's go. So it was cool vibes.
And I would imagine too, because this happens in the NBA a lot. I guess full disclosure, I pay attention a little bit more to the NBA draft than the NFL draft. NFL draft, I usually like take in via Twitter just because all the tweets are coming in. But with the NBA draft, sometimes it'll be like the Clippers are up and then on 13, and then all of a sudden they're drafting again on 14. And usually that means they like traded back one. So I imagine if you saw Houston just select number 2, Stroud at number 2, and then all of a sudden you see him up, they're like, wait, did they just trade Stroud? Did they like trade back? And
Right.
I imagine that was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, because you see the clock, you see, like, we even see when they make the pick, it'll be like 4 minutes left, and that team didn't make the pick yet, but then the next team's on the clock, and then
Yeah.
like a minute later or 2 minutes later, they'll say, okay, this team made the pick, we're waiting on the next team, or they'll say, Houston has traded up to the 3, but you don't know what they gave up to get to the 3, or if you're that team that was the 3. Who are you getting next? When's your next picks? Is it multiple this rounds? Is it just one? So like that was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, I bet. What was the reaction? And like either of you guys can you can talk about your personal reaction, X, if you'd like to. But for like the Lions, so the Lions had the 6th pick, they trade back down to 12, and then like almost inexplicably take the running back Gibbs out of Alabama. Who they've already signed Montgomery, right? I know they lost Jamal Williams in the offseason. They still have fantasy darling who doesn't really produce regularly, DeAndre Swift, and then all of a sudden they like. Again, that's the second running back taken in the first round, and we just haven't seen that happen regularly. So, like, I don't know. Either one of you guys can jump in. Just like the reaction to the Lions making that move.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was shock because you didn't expect him to go that high, number 1, and why to the Lions, right? Like, even with Atlanta, you could say like these are like luxury picks. These are skill positions that you don't really need to improve when you do have other holes out there. So there was a lot of like jaw dropping, like what, like that type of stuff. One of the Lions fans, when I walked past, he was just standing there like this. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing? So that was definitely a surprising pick.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was surprised only too because it seemed like Detroit was like, dude, they finally figured it out, man. Detroit finally figured it out. The vibes are changing. People are talking up Detroit for the first time in like a decade. And then it lasted 2 weeks. And now everything I was reading this morning is like, what are we doing? Dan Campbell's he's off the rails.
And they had all those guys recently, suspended too. There was some sports betting with the Lions as well. So it's been a little rocky in Detroit after really feeling some good vibes.
Yeah. X, what was your reaction to? I'm seeing Fenny in the chat too, saying Anthony Richardson bringing a Super Bowl back to Indy. If you told me Anthony Richardson went top 5 or somewhere between 25 and 40, I would have like believed both of those things. What are how you feeling about like Indianapolis making a move like that?
Man, one of our co-hosts, Stone Cold, lives in Indiana, so I just try to nerf them as much as possible. Anything good happening to them, I'm definitely against. That guy will end up bloated all day and all night. I think it's a good move overall. Whether they're going to be Super Bowl contenders is still to be seen, but still, it should be an interesting season at least.
Yeah, shout out Stone Cold too, who I think like 4 games into the NBA season was in the chat being like, "Oh, you put some respect on my Indiana Pacers," and they got the right amount of respect. So
yeah, there's not a lot of people diehard rooting for Indiana, so it's like Stone Cold and I think 4 other fans in the state.
Yeah, Reggie Miller, that's it. It's those 2 guys. I know. John Dubb, he might be in the chat. I know he's an indie guy, but yeah, there's like 2 or 3. That's it, max. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else from like last night that really stood out to you guys that was like, oh man, I really liked this move here, or didn't really like this one? As a Patriots fan, it was just like, cool to see consistency where we have a first round pick and they're like, what if we trade back a little bit? That's what the Patriots way. But anything for you guys that stood out either positively or negatively?
I love what Philly did. Oh, go ahead, X. But Philly for me, but go ahead, X.
Yeah.
Oh, so one thing on my end was just CJ Stroud going second. I know Bryce Young overall was best pick, and everybody expected him to go first. But something about CJ when I was watching him all last season, he's probably just like looks like an NFL quarterback. Everything about his play is dialed in, and I kind of thought that Carolina Panthers might have just faded the rankings and reached for him. So that was a huge surprise to me. It was. it was a little bit expected, but it's still a little bit disappointing. I think they could have done better. But go
Yeah,
ahead,
this
90s.
CJ Stroud stuff is so interesting too, because I feel like people were all over the map with him. I mean, he was like, oh, dude, he could be the top pick, and then all of a sudden he was like, oh, he's slipping, and then he was back up again. And it's hard to knock someone for their weapons, and I felt like that's what it seemed like he was getting dinged for. He was like, yeah, well, dude, if I had those guys I was throwing through, I'd have an 80% completion rate too. And so there was a lot of that, which I feel like that's a hard thing to hold against somebody. But yeah, Houston, man, Houston traded like next year's first round pick to move up. I don't see a world in which Houston's all of a sudden good. So I don't know. We'll see what Houston looks like next year. Sorry, go ahead. 90s.
Yeah, no, I was just saying though. I thought Philly did great. I mean, anytime you have 2 first-round picks and you just come off a Super Bowl, and that you added to that defense and adding, really like top picks, within the defense too. I think they did great. I know there's some character issues with Carter. He slipped a little bit, and then getting Smith at the end of round 1. I thought I was definitely booing inside a little bit for my New York Giants, but it's all good.
I mean, the Jalen Carter, right? Like, so the D tackle out of Georgia, who like arguably was one of the more talented, like could have been a top 3 pick, and because of all of the off the field stuff, is why that's where like he got red flagged, but still ended up they get him at 9, and then they get the other Georgia guy right at the other end. The fact that they at least got, I mean, if Jalen stays head right, I feel like he's gonna start for them, and then that Nolan Smith at 30 is pretty. I don't know, like again, you go to the Super Bowl and then all of a sudden add 2 guys like that. I mean, that's cheating.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't have the same animosity towards Philly as Giants fans do, but I'm also not rooting for him,
Right. Yeah. I'm a football fan. I mean, I root for a lot. I do a lot of fantasy and stuff like that as well too. But Giants are my heart. But Philly, they just improved so much more. Yesterday. So respect for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah, let's talk a little all day too. I'd be curious, like how are you guys are feeling headed into the draft. We just had the draft, and now I'm sure it'll be a little quiet here as everything irons out as we head into the new season. But how are you guys feeling about the new series and like the direction that we're headed? Either one of you guys, you can jump. Sorry, I should direct these.
No problem. So from my end, I was a little bit disappointed in the draft. I think the draft is a great interactive off-season opportunity, and when you really think about off-season, it's pretty much draft and historical drops that we're all looking forward to. So I would have liked to see a little bit more. That being said, I was really impressed with Series 2. Them kind of coming into the bull market and expecting some super high mints, and then adjusting their plan halfway through, having pack drops months apart to avoid over flooding supply, especially when the product is new. They're doing everything right, keeping things interesting with playbook and dynamic moments. And I think Series 3 is going to be just as good, if not better, as long as they keep up with their same supply philosophy. And having Noah, who was the former all-day economist, as the head of product GM now, I think they'll keep up with that true supply philosophy and keep it an actual collectible, which is amazing.
Yeah. What about where are you at, 90s?
I liked, season 2, series 2. I liked the dynamic moments, like X said. I like to kind of see them do some more of that stuff for series 3. Have these moments evolve. I just think that's a really cool idea. You can have like this montage of someone throughout the season. Scarcity, like we talk about with Top Shot all day. All of these platforms. Hopefully they can stay true to that for next season as well. Would have liked to see more stuff happen at the draft. I mean, I'm a little disappointed there. Could have been a QR code. Could have just been, hey, scan this, get a free moment, something like that. I feel like it was a kind of a missed opportunity. But, with that being said, I know the team has some recent changes going on, and they're kind of figuring out their footing too. So hopefully once they get that together, they can just add whatever they learned from series 1 and 2 into series 3.
Yeah, the draft stuff's so interesting too, because I always think, what does programming look like in something like that? But and who knows? I like the QR code's a good idea. But I totally agree. I think when you have, I've been saying this about Top Shot and just the NBA in general. Like, there are specific flag or tentpole events that happen throughout a sporting season, right? And like for the NBA, it's the the first night of the season, it's Christmas Day, it's the All-Star game, it's the playoffs, and then to like the draft as well, to a lesser extent, Summer League. But the same thing with the NFL, right? Like the entire like almost business plan of the NFL is like it's event viewing. It's like every Sunday, like that's what you do. It's like a religious experience for some for their entire life. Every Sunday, that's what they've done, right? And so the draft is kind of like that for the NFL as well, too. So I don't know. I always feel hesitant to be like, man, you guys going to be doing more when I don't have a solution of what that should look like. But I like having some form of a presence at something that is a tentpole event for the NFL seems like a no brainer. And yeah, so I could totally echo that frustration. It would have been nice to see something there. But to spin it positively on or to mention some positive stuff, I totally agree with the dynamic stuff. That to me is some of the sharpest. Sorry if my Wi-Fi just cut a little bit. But that to me is some of the sharpest stuff that they've done. Being able to, instead of just giving us another moment, right? Being able to just enhance the thing that you've already got. So maybe it makes the collectible that you already have a little bit more collectible instead of being like, well, why don't we just give you another Christian McCaffrey? So I do like that they've kind of, something that John Boy has always said about Top Shot is like, you have the ability, especially in beta, to like pull these levers and mess with like circulation and different mechanisms. And they seem to be more open to making adjustments like that. And I think that's a good sign from like the leadership over there.
Sure.
Did you have any thoughts on the exciting article that came out last or this week? I don't know if you guys saw it from The Block, which I believe was the same reporter that also wrote the one where everybody lost their mind because it was from former and some current employees. But did you guys have a chance to take a look at that?
Yeah, so we covered that a little bit on our spaces this past week, and I think Smurf looked into him. He used to work for the Wall Street Journal, but it's kind of interesting that he always takes the no named on the sources approach and then writes about half a sentence on everything. So, yeah, I'm not saying he's making things up, but it's definitely one of those things where I'd like to hear a little bit more nuance to the article. It feels like a little bit of a get it out, get it published type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, NFL being tough to negotiate with does not surprise me. They have to have some of the best negotiators around. I'm not surprised there's not multi-year deals coming out of that, especially with a product that's crypto Web3 based, right? Them being adverse to risk, that's par for the course. I don't think that reflects badly on All Day at all.
Yeah.
I think the missing revenue marks doesn't reflect badly on All Day at all, given the broader NFT marketplace too. So it's no news type of deals on my end.
Yeah, that's a good point. What I find so interesting is less about the piece and more about the reaction from people, where it is so funny. I feel like everybody's so influenced by their current bag situation. And if you are someone that has like gone out on Dapper products, you're kind of like, see, this is what I've been saying from the beginning. And then if you are someone who are still holding heavy bags, you're like, why aren't you naming names? Which I think, like, if you think about almost any sort of report or article or piece you've ever written, no matter or ever read, whether it's about this specifically or anything, right? Like even if you think about NFL trades or like this Lamar Jackson, it'll be like sources close to the organization say, and no one's like, oh, that's horse shit. Tell me, is this Bruce? Did Bruce? Like no one does that, right? But I think because it is like tied to our financial bags, there's always that hard lean one way or the other. But for me, what I took away from that is like, yeah, a lot of this makes sense from, I mean, like how you just pointed out, X, with like the NFL obviously being shrewd negotiators. And if a deal was made and then Dapper comes back and they're like, hey, we're going to miss it. The NFL's like, yeah, well, you have to fix that. That's not our problem. We had a deal, right? And I mean, it does kind of go in line with some of the, and I'm not saying All Day specific, but like Dapper specific of this whole idea of like, yeah, we got a lot of big plans. Buckle up, baby. And then a year later, it's like, well, some of our plans change. So to me, that kind of lined up. But I agree with you. It was like no news. It's just like, hey, we're learning stuff we know already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned the Wall Street Journal part. That reporter knows better. I think this was a little bit of a clickbait where you did see a surge in like Lego sales from a lot of inactive accounts when that article came out. Just because I think what happened is those average collectors who haven't thought about their accounts since September when the season started to see that don't even read through it and just kind of dump their bags and move on. So that those types of things are things that I think have a damaging effect to the ecosystem when taken out of context. But there's no way to stop them. I just wish there was honestly more reporting. Both on the positive and negative side of all day coming from like legitimate reporters, just because so many of our content creators don't really have the media background and the media resources to kind of know how to get like dapper sources to get talking, a lot of the like legalities of what they're allowed to say and what they're not. So yeah, I like that they're putting out content. I just wish there was a little bit more to provide a full picture for the people on the outside.
Yeah, one of the things you mentioned content creators, and I meant to bring this up earlier. One of the things that I thought they did a good job with last night is I saw some fantasy football content creator they had that was there that was talking about all day. I know Patrick sent it to me. I feel like I should name drop this guy. So hold on, I'm going to pull it up here on my messages. What's this dude's name? Eric something, I think. Here we go. Oh no, Mason Dodd. From Flock Fantasy, and he's got like, let's see how many followers this dude have. He's got like 17,000. But what I think selfishly as a content creator in this space, I'm always like, dude, just like, I know the product. Why don't you just like send me to go talk about the product? Not all day specifically, but if it was an NBA related thing, right? But all of the people that tune into your stuff and all of the people that tune into my stuff or connecting and collecting stuff or whatever, we all know what the product is, right? Like nobody new is finding All Day or Top Shot from us. I do think that was like a good sign to find someone in the football space, but not in the all day space to kind of talk about it a little bit, as long as they're well versed, right? As long as it's not someone just collecting a check being like, buy these cards.
Well, they did that too. They did it with Roscoe. Roscoe was doing stuff with he's like big in like the sneaker community, and that crossover between sneakers and football, right? You know, sports and sneakers kind of always go hand in hand. So they made, you know, some type of deal with him where he's been doing some shows with some of the legends, Larry Fitzgerald, Richard Sherman, things like that, you know, just to try to get the crossover from it. But yeah, you know, most of our people that tune in to our shows already, you know, like the products, like what we have to say, they like the vibe, whatever it is. So like, yeah, we're not like turning over new collectors just from listening to our streams usually.
Right. Yeah, I'll be curious how they approach the beginning of the season. I'm hopeful they're again. They seem like they have some leadership in place. I like that they are. I wouldn't say they're like super transparent about everything that they're doing, but I like that like they are able to read the room in a way that I don't think we've seen from. I was going to say all of the Dapper products, but I just mean Top Shot. And they seem to be able to make adjustments based on how they're, you know, how many people are participating, all of that stuff. And I think that is important. And you need to know that they have the ability to do that. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited for football season. You know, the draft got the juices flowing a little bit.
That's right.
I wanted to be cognizant of time and get you guys out of here. I'm going to drop your the Twitter into the chat. So go follow All Night NFT or at All Night NFT for some sweet all day content. I will at some point. I know you guys do Tuesday night spaces, and it's always tough because that's my live show shit. I would like to get back on there. I know we did one a long time ago, like way ago. It's a long time ago. But I appreciate you guys coming on. And dude, I'm so excited for you, 90s, that you're able to be at that draft. And I'm excited to just, you know, figure out how drunk you get. Sorry, wrong thing. How drunk you get today. That should be exciting.
You got it. Yeah, yesterday was pretty good. So tonight should be pretty better. Should be better for sure.
Yeah, and I'll spin this giveaway now since you guys brought that to the table. I appreciate you giving back to the community. So whoever wins this, send me a DM and I can pass it along. Just send me your all day name. And let's see who's taking this bad boy down. It's gonna be, let's see, a lot of familiar names popping around here, and it's going to Sneeps. Wow, the Sneeps got himself. It's good to see it.
Sneeps.
Yeah, dude. Anything else you guys need to hit before I get you out of here?
I think that's it from my end. Yeah, we're our show's on every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. fun guests, just a chill time. If you listen to our streams before, you kind of know how we do. So I think we have Candy Digital on this week. They're going to be talking about some of their Getty images that they have. We're going to have a giveaway for them as well too. So definitely tune in. There'll be some tweets. We have a newsletter that X puts out on us as well, which you can find some more information about us and what we've been doing too. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, thanks again. Seriously, I really appreciate coming on. We'll have to get you back on as we get closer to, past the combine, right? The combine already happened. I'm sorry. Past OTAs, we'll have to get you guys back on and get back into it. But all right, yeah. Good luck. Enjoy Kansas City, man. Get some barbecue. And Mr. X, thanks for coming on, man.
Much appreciated. Thanks.
All right,
thanks,
take
Mike.
care, guys. All right, shout out All Day All Night crew. Make sure you go follow them. That's fun. Love that they were able to come on and hang out with us here today. That was a good time. Good times had by all. All right, couple of things here. Let's take a look. Let's fire up another giveaway. You know what I'm saying? Let's fire up another giveaway because it's time to talk some shooty hoops now. We're gonna get some basketball. We'll talk about last night's Celtics Hawks game. Let's put in Beantown. So like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Beantown. We'll give away a bottom shot moment here towards the end. We'll do that. A lot of Top Shot employee naked XYZ rigged. Yeah, a lot of people mad about Sneeps. Go get Sneeps. I like that. Get angry at Sneeps. I got to tell you, let's get into last night's game. I was pretty it's funny. I thought that the Celtics were going to win. There wasn't a part of me that was like, "Oh my god, it's going to go to a game 7. This is going to be terrible." I wasn't really nervous about it. But man, there did come a time where I was like, are you kidding me? Am I going to have to watch another one of these round 1 games? I don't know if you guys are there. I'm really excited for the game 6 tonight of Memphis and Lakers and Kings and Warriors. But it did feel like this last night's game didn't have the same excitement. It just was more, I guess maybe it's because I'm a Celtics fan. Maybe if you weren't a Celtics fan, you just were like, yeah, this is it. But it didn't have the same intensity or excitement. I just was like, end this round. I want Celtics Sixers, and we're going to get it. Let's take a look at some of the stats. Sometimes the ESPN site is just Gabaggio. Let's take a look at the scores from last night. What the? All right. I wanted to just because I know Tatum was popping off, kid. He had 30, 14, and 7. 30 points, 14 boards, 7 dimes. He had a great putback last night. Putback dunk in the 4th that kind of started to seal the deal. Al with a double-double. He had 10 and 12. We got Smart had 22, but I'm going to talk about Marcus Smart here for a second. Jaylen Brown at 32. Derek White had a pretty quiet game, even though he played 30 minutes. And Grant Williams played 17 minutes after not seeing him forever. We got 17 from Bogdanovich off the bench. Trae Young had 25 points in the first half and 5 in the second. He finished with 30 and 10. DeAndre Hunter, I'm going to give DeAndre Hunter a little love. He came on strong games 3 through 6. He had 20 and 6 last night. DeJounte had a weird game. He had 14, 11, and 7. All 14 points came in the second half. And then Bogdanovich just had 12 off the bench. But Celtics move on. I wanted to talk about Marcus because, man, Marcus was a little bit tilting last night. As the Celtics seemed to be slowly slipping away. It seemed to be getting a little gross out there. I'm sorry, my computer continues to be garbage. It seemed to be slowly slipping away. And Marcus, it was like a 4-point game, 2-point game, something like this. Marcus Smart checks in. He'd been on the bench, probably 4 or 5 minutes left. Checks in, immediately turns the ball over. I believe he commits a foul and then jacks up 2 consecutive threes. It's just so tilting. And again, I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if he's in his head a little bit, but there's just something that doesn't feel right with him right now. But irregardless, Celtics move on. They'll take on the Sixers this weekend. Did they set up the schedule for this weekend yet? Let me look at the NBA app and see what we've got for weekend hoops. All right, so Saturday, we got Nuggets and Suns. Only one game on Saturday. That's going to be at 8:30, and then on Sunday. So we'll have it's a bunch of TBD shit. So Knicks and Heat are at 1 o'clock, and then if we get any game 7s from the Grizz and Lakers or Warriors and Kangs, those will be on Sunday as well. And then Monday, we'll have game 2 of Nuggets and Suns, and that will be game 1 of Celtics and Sixers. Celtics and Sixers. Let's talk about that second round matchup of Boston and Philly. I think if you're a Philly fan and you want to be positive, you can be like, look, Boston, it took them 6 games to get past Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. They look a little weird right now. They don't look awesome. Then you have Tyrese Maxey exploding. You've had a ton of rest. Maybe Joel Embiid's getting healthier, right? So there's some like positive energy, some positive vibes for Philly fans. If you're Boston, you're like, listen, we got this out of the way. We got this out of the way. We're moving on. Embiid is dinged up. James Harden looks slow. And that you have a better team. So I think the Celtics should win this series. I think the Celtics should win, and I think the Sixers will probably, I don't know. I could see them winning. I could see this going 6 games. I could see this Boston in 6. Is anybody taking Philly in the chat? Where are you guys landing here? Because maybe my homerism is bleeding through. But I think I would take Boston here. I think they're just a more complete team. They're a deeper team. You start getting into the George Niangs of the world. Yeah. Fernandez says, when is Embiid not dinged up? I know, but you're also taking Philly. So you said, when is Embiid not dinged up? And then you said you're taking Philly. Sneap said the Celtics aren't losing again. Philly and the MVP in 6. All right. Willis is taking Philly. Orion's got Boston in 5. Yeah, I think I'm on the Celtics side of things. I do think they are the better team, but I think they're all going to be close games. Like, I don't think this is one where, Boston just like waxes them. I think all of these games come down to the fourth quarter, win or lose. It'll go that way. But I'm taking the Celtics. Kangs and 7 says jump shoot. All right, yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to take Celtics in 6, and then I'm going to take, I don't know. Do we have the Randall news yet? I don't know what to do with the Knicks Heat series. Stan says Hero's going to come back for game 7 of Heat versus Celtics and hit a game winner. Wow. All right, I'll give you a drop for that. That take sucks, but I'll give you a drop. Yeah, Fenny's saying Knicks in 6. I do think the Knicks are a better team, but do we know the Randall injury yet? If Randall is unavailable this whole series, and that's a lot of Obi Toppin. I think Obi Toppin's really fun when he comes in for 12 to 15 minutes. I think if Obi Toppin's playing 32 minutes, I don't know if that's what you want. So I need that Randall news first. Quentin Grimes, I think, is going to be back. All right, there we go. We the people, I see you. Let's go to the West Conference here, the Western Conference. Is anybody forcing a game 7? So we got 2 games tonight, both game 6. Both teams that have a 3-2 lead are at home. Who are you taking? Or not who are you taking? Do you think either of them get to a 7th game? I think the De'Aaron Fox injury is a real problem for the Kings. How about that for a take? Their best player's hurt, and I think that's bad. But De'Aaron Fox's hand, I mean, like, clearly his hand will look a little shook. Like, the shooting was better than I thought it was going to be. The fact that he still put up like 24 points, but like I think like 12 of those came in the first quarter. I just don't think they have it in them. I think the Warriors probably close out here. And I hope the Kings put up a fight. But this game to me feels like the Warriors come out and score 42 points in the first quarter, and then it's a wrap. Like, it's just too hard to come back. I do think we might see the Ja Morant. Like, I could see the Morantula. How about that? Move over, Durantula. It's Morantula time. I could see the Grizzlies getting this. I think if the Grizzlies can get a lead early and not in the first, I think they went down 10 in game. I know they ended up coming back and winning, but in game 5, I feel like they went down early. But game 4, again, all of these games, they've been going down early. I think if they can avoid that, and then all of a sudden the pressure mounts a little bit, and you're now relying on D'Lo and Austin Reeves and all of those guys. I don't know. I could see Warriors winning this and forcing a game 7. And then the Grizzlies winning this and forcing a game 7. But then in true Grizzlies fashion, I could see them losing game 7. Like Dylan Brooks does something weird. But hey, since Dylan Brooks has shut the fuck up, they've been a little bit better, huh? Who would have thought? All right. I don't know. I don't have any other basketball takes. It was it was weird only having one game. Um, and I didn't love watching it. I really was just happy it was over. We the People says, give me Memphis and Dubs next round. I listen, I know there's more storybooks. Oh, did he talk? Did Dylan say shit after he won? I missed it. I know there's more like history. Can you tell I need to get a haircut? I'm like getting whatever. I know there's more like, oh, LeBron versus Steph. I'd much rather watch the Grizzlies play the Warriors than the Lakers play the Warriors. I really would. I really would. Shigan says the last 5 minutes of the Celtics was unreal, though. Yeah, I mean, it's like the Celtics finally decided to show up. They turn the knob. Grizzlies need to run and get to the rack. If they're aggressive, I think they pull it out. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the Lakers are tired. You know, the Grizz are a younger team. I think they're a little bit tired. All right. Anything else? Any other basketball takes you guys need to get out of the way? We're going to take this off. The earmuffs are a little too warm today. Our neighbors turned the heat on last night. I woke up at 3 in the morning. It was so hot. So hot in this apartment. Yeah, of course you did. You went for 3K last night. Corey says if the Warriors win, I think the Lakers blow the series. Wait, what do you... If Warriors win, then... So if the Kings win, does that mean you think the Lakers win? Or you just say, I think I get you. My bad. I get you. All right. Remember, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Beantown, and we'll give away either a Top Shot thing or a So Rare thing. Weisberg says we get a little playback going tonight. I got to put a hat on because it's bugging me. Let's go. Big face, baby. Big face coffee in the house. All right. We got playback tonight for Dubs and Kangs. That'll be good. Hey, I also want to say, dude, we hit 2 million views this week. 2 million views this week for YouTube. Isn't that sick? We hit our 2 million. I tweeted this out. It took us over 2 years to hit 1 million and then a couple of months to get to 2 million, which is sick. We're also at 9,056 subs. So just grinding. A lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff. We the People's giving us free money. He says parlay Bane over threes and over Monk points Looney boards. Lakers would want Kings more in the second round because they wanted to play them if they finished. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I just don't think that impacts the Grizzlies game. I think either way, they're going to try to beat the Grizzlies. Greg, no, come on. No, so shout out Greg, I don't know if Dustin, I don't know if you guys saw the photo in the Discord, but he was obviously at the Guardians premiere last night and was with J-Dub, Mr. Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City Thunder. Actually, let me pull that photo up. Oh yeah, and then we got to talk about our little we got a little partnership, little brand Dizzy. All right, let's see. We'll share this. Let's see. All right, so there it is. Look at that. Huh? Let's do it this way. Bang. That's Dustin on the right. We got a little J-Dub, and then his agents probably. But it was good. We the People said any underdog for you tonight. So I'm just riding out. I'm riding out the rest of the first round. The rest of the first round is so like I said, I know I've talked about this at length, so I apologize. But I did 150 of those dance lineups for the underdog contest. And right now, if all of the series ended today, I'd have 52 going through. 52 going through, which is an incredible advance rate. We'd be very excited. But I think it might go up a little bit more because I do have a ton of Grizzlies and Lakers and Kings and Warriors. So that might go up a little bit more. So part of me wants both of these series to end, but I would like a game 7, baby. I would like some of that. So I know we're on a crazy advance rate right now. So basically how that works is they put you in pods of 6 and you have to win your pod to get through. And I think for to be successful, you want an 18% success advance rate. And right now we're over 30%. And they also, because they didn't completely fill the tournament, there's an overlay. 1,700 of the second place finishers will go through as well. So there's a chance we get up over 60 or 70, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, people are saying we miss Greg. Everybody misses Greg. I know he's still doing the Nifty Sports stream occasionally about some baseball, the weekly walk-off. Oh, which, by the way, let's go open. I think I got my reward just came in for baseball. Let me go check that out. And then we're going to talk about our new Pookie sponsorship, baby. We're doing a brand deal with this company called Pookie over the next month or so. Which I think is going to be pretty exciting if you are a football fan. There's a lot of cool stuff that they're doing over there where it's basically like a predictive thing. You can nail scores and stuff. But anyways, I'll explain that here in a second. All right, let me get to share it. Share it, Zakarian. All right, let's go over here. Let's go look at So Rare. All right, so here we go. This is football. Let's go to baseball. All right, so yes, we earned 2 rewards. So our limited pro team balled. Our limited pro team, we finished 147th out of all of that. Al just says reactions on the crazy brawl at Real Madrid. Oh no, I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to go look that up. I missed it. I was you know, I don't want to get into it. We had some crappy news yesterday, and so it affected stuff I was viewing. All right, let's look at the common first. So we got a tier 2 common, and then I think it was a tier 2 limited as well. We got a starting pitcher here. Oh, Aaron Nola, who seems to not be able to figure out the pitch clock. All right, and is this a tier 2? Limited, what is it? A tier 3. This is a tier 3. All right, but that's okay. We're still happy with tier 3. Happy for any. Oh, a New York Met. Oh, dude, outfielder. Oh, my kind of dude. My kind of. Let's go Mets, baby. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. My kind of. We love to see it. Oh, Yabusele was out here suplexing Dante Exum. There's a blast from the past. Maybe I get this is my lineup for this weekend, by the way. Also, if you're into So Rare, sign up using the link in the notes there. Yeah, Kana's elite, dude. Kana's elite versus lefties. So we're rolling out Sonny Gray this weekend. Kenley Jansen of the Beantown Boys, Rafi Deves, Jorge Mateo, Anthony Santander, Jeremy Pena, and Luis Castillo. Another. So on the weekend, on the freaking weekend, I've been doing pitchers as my what's it called? As my second guy. On the weekdays when there's more games, I've been using fielders as those guys. That's a loaded lineup. Yeah, really. But anyways, yeah. So that's gonna be my squad for this week. All right, let's talk about we're gonna talk about Pookie here. So listen, guys, this is anytime we do a brand deal, you all need to click the link, okay? Because it's good, especially if you're oversubscribed, all right? So click that freaking link. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. There's a free version of playing this game too. So much like when we've talked about So Rare, things that I like is when a company is like, hey, check out our game, but you don't have to drop buckets of dollars. And again, this is probably going to be a little bit more exciting to you. Oh, wait, is that the right link? Hold on. Do not click that link. Do not. I gave you the wrong one. Don't click that one. Don't do it. All right, here's the link. Honestly, they probably both work, but here's the link. And I'm going to pin that shit in the chat. Hold on, let me pin it. But yeah, anyways, go take a look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow. All right. Yeah, is it pinned now? All right, we pinned it. All right, I'm going to share screen. We're going to poke around here. Again, this is over on the footy side of things, but essentially, you bet little pookies. Let's see what we got here. Let me go over. All right, so we'll do the basic here. We're going to predict now April 28th to May 2nd, match day 15, right? So again, this is probably more exciting to you if you are in the football space. Can we see this okay? Let me blow this up here a little bit. Look at that. Look at this photo, by the way. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's predict. Let's predict now. Dortmund versus Florentina. All right, showing you how to do it. See, so make predictions on your favorite football game, score points for predicting the outcome, number of goals, and the correct score. Boost your points. Pick your Pookie Ball to boost your prediction points. Every Pookie Ball has a unique attributes that can be leveled up as you progress, and then you win rewards. Rank on multiple leaderboards to win many unique rewards. Every player is rewarded Pookie, and all this is done using Matic. This is on Matic. So for you crypto bros. All right, here we go. I'm a big Dortmund guy. All right, I'm going to go 3-1 Doherty. 3-1 Doherty. There we go. The pressure, 0%. I don't know how that works yet. Prediction cost is 10. So the base point's 168. With the boost, we get 171. Let's set that prediction. Bang. There we go. Oh, we got another prize too. There we go. There's a Pookie Ball. Anyways, so I'm going to be doing one of these every single day. We'll be messing around with it. Do me a favor. Again, it's free. That's free. And then if you decide you like it, you can put some dollars into it. And then we can mess around a little bit more. So go click the link, create an account. We'll talk more about it here. We'll have some more fun in the Discord around it, especially once it's matches that I know a little bit better, like Hoffenheim. But once we'll have some fun, like Arsenal Chelsea Monday, May 1st. That starts in 4 days. So we'll have some fun. So check out Pookie, please. Look at us. Brand I did it all for the Pookie. The what? The Pookie. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think that's most of it, right? Celtics move on. Let's shout out. I know we got to still spin a giveaway. Shout out 90s fan and Mr. X for coming on talking some foosball. There's a chance either tomorrow or Sunday, depending on the action of tonight. If tonight is fire, we might fire up a show tomorrow morning just to kind of cover it instead of waiting until Monday. So stay tuned for that. How many away from 10K? Great question, Joel. So right here, right now. All right, we are at 9,056. We picked up 15 this morning. So we are, what's that? 944 from 10K. So that's fun. And, as always, guys, appreciate everybody being here and, participating and all that fun stuff. And, yeah, listen, also, not to get serious for a second, but if you're going through some stuff, if you're feeling some bad feels, let somebody know. You know what I mean? Talk to your friends. People care about you. And, we're all struggling through some shit together. And if you are someone going through some stuff, talk to somebody, whether it's somebody in the chat, whether it's me, whether it's a friend or family, let people know. People care about you. And, yeah. There you go. There's your good vibes for the weekend. All right. Last call here. Like the stream, subscribe, #Beantown. Okay. And we'll spin something here and we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of another Top Shot. I can't believe, guys. Sometimes this happens, right? We're going to look at this. Sometimes this happens where you don't think you need a haircut. And then all of a sudden one day you're like, wow, you need a haircut. Yeah. 100% jump shoot. 100%. So there we go. All right, let's do it. Let's spin it. Remember, check out Playback tonight. You can find a link to that in the show description. That'll be tonight for Kangs and Warriors. We're going to light some beams. All right, here we go. Winner, chicken dinner. It is going to be. Imagine if Sneap's running back twice. Let's see. Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Jack just won a piece of shit. There we go, Jack. Congratulations. Shout out to 90s fan and Mr. X again. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope we get to the Zaza Pachulia clip all weekend. Game 7, baby. All right, have a great weekend. We out.